You're watching Plus TV Africa, and if you're just joining us, you've just tuned in for Tea Time. Yes, this is Tea Time, an entertainment news program where we bring you the best, the latest, and the hottest stories this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo, and here with me in the studio are my co-anchors Ife Oshinkeye, Lakpe Banjo, and Arike Dimples. Hi, guys.
Hi, what's up, Tokunbo?
So, Lakpe, you've been away for a few episodes, haven't you?
I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too. Arika, don't be a hater. She's been a hater.
When you were away,
did you miss me? What did I miss?
he said he'll rather be there with me.
Did you say that?
Did you believe her?
Yeah.
I'll show you the episode.
You watch the show.
Yeah. Roll the
Oh, so I don't understand that. You're saying you don't watch the shows.
I do watch the show.
So if you watch the shows, why would you believe what she's saying?
I've been busy doing other things for the show.
So why would you believe what she's saying?
Because I believe what you're capable of.
So you believe I'm capable of cheating on you?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you have a breaking story for us, don't you?
Yeah, George Clooney's just been in a car accident. Although, yeah, I know it's quite serious. But he's not said to be in a serious condition or anything, so he's under control. But it was in Italy. He was on holiday. So
right. With Amal, obviously?
We don't know. Probably.
Okay, so probably watch this space. Let's see what, you know,
yeah,
comes
what happens.
up.
Well, I hope he's feeling better and he's not too, like, injured or anything.
Fatal.
Yeah.
But it can be.
All right, without further ado, let's delve deep into the stories for the day. So our first story is on Beyonce and Jay Z. They're to lead the South Africa Anti-Poverty Festival for Mandela. That's taking place later on this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's happening in December.
December 2nd, to be precise.
Yeah, I'm going.
You're going?
Yeah.
You can't be the UK and go South Africa at the same time.
I can. I'll be here, so I'll be going to...
It's just 3 days to my birthday, so
Oh, do you want to come?
Yeah, so...
You have to earn tickets. You can't just rock up.
I don't understand what you guys do. First you're going to Bali, now you're going to South Africa.
No, Bali was just always private. A dream.
It's not a tea time thing. Bali
Arike, your thoughts on this South African thing with Beyonce? And it's not just Beyonce and Jay Z. There's going to be a few African...
Yeah, Tiwa Savage, Wizkid, Naomi Campbell.
The beautiful part of the international artists that are going to be on the show, we have the likes of Pharrell Williams. I haven't heard from
Pharrell in a long time.
Yeah.
Then there's this guy, the lead singer of Coldplay.
Oh, what's his name? Martin, something.
Yeah,
Chris Martin.
And this guy is also going to be there. What's it called? There are a bunch of them, though.
There are a lot of people. And it's going to be sick. It looks really, really good.
I still, you know, your take on this, because what they're doing it for is for poverty, isn't it? So what's your take about, you know...
Oprah's going to be there, sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I love Oprah, sorry.
Keep quiet.
Sorry, so keep you.
Basically...
Are you getting jealous now?
Yes, I am, and that's why I'm quiet.
I'm sorry.
But it's fine. No
you
problem.
can't buy a ticket either. So you can basically be my best friend and then I'll let you come. You have to earn the tickets. Oh, go away!
I thought we were best friends already. Okay, back to the issue. We'll look forward to it, no.
I hope they stream it and stuff so we can all see it.
They won't.
Yeah, it's true, they won't.
You probably watch it after it's been...
It's been aired, yeah.
People like us that are not going, this is the only reaction we can do.
But
it's interesting. The headlining, the artist, everything is sick.
And also Beyonce hasn't performed. Yeah, true. No, you've got a point.
Reactions. I'm just like,
so back to the African artists. I think we just called all the international superstars and we just...
No, we didn't. We said Tiwa Savage, we said Wizkid.
But like we were going to say something about Beyonce.
Beyonce hasn't actually performed in South Africa since 2004.
Okay.
So it's been over 10 years. So the South African audience are really anticipating.
Since 2004?
Yeah, since 2000.
Okay, I thought you said 10 years. Over 10 years, you said.
Yeah, I said over 10 years.
We just hope she doesn't get stuck again.
The best part of this is that they're actually doing this, they're putting this together to be able to raise about $1 billion that they would focus on women and children of the poorest countries you get. So that's...
This is the thing I have with this is my issue with all these charitable concerts and stuff
go on.
like
What's your issue before I even say mine?
Charities in general, no offense, they're a bit skeptical. There's had a lot of issues. Oxfam's had issues this year. Some of the other ones I can't remember, but Oxfam was the major one. So I don't really trust anything that they say that they're going to do or how they're going to do it, especially when you put celebrities at the forefront. Who's paying the celebrities? how are we sure this money is going to trickle down right to the people that need it the most?
Exactly.
And how are we going to make everybody go?
And then why are they segregating it? You know, just women and children. If you're going to help,
no. They're saying 50% women and children. 50% of the proceeds will be going to women and children.
And in these countries, a lot of the women and children
will be general for the poorest countries, and it's just eradication of poverty.
But you can't. This is my issue with using a concert to try and eradicate poverty. You can't eradicate poverty by doing a concert. Like,
but if you're able to raise $1 billion, you can help with reliefs and all of that.
Yeah, no, but then these people have more influence. Go to the root of the problem. The problem is in leaders. The problem is in corruption. The problem is elsewhere.
Apart from the fact that
I know where you're coming from, but I think we can't even eradicate poverty.
It can't
we can do the best we can. And I think that's what they're trying to do.
I don't agree that we cannot eradicate poverty. Yes, some people will be poor, but the poorest nations can be developed. No, this is not being utopian now. This is not being. Look, the poorest nations can be helped. Now, people that do not want to be helped will remain poor.
Incorrect.
But
Incorrect. No.
I really want to hear from Arika. She's just watching the two of you, and I really want to hear your thoughts. Before you carry on,
can we just point out, because this is part of it too, and this is also in celebration of Nelson Mandela's 100 years of childbirth in South Africa, Johannesburg, of birth. Of birth in Johannesburg. So he would have been 100 years when he was born in Johannesburg. So that's like the primary reason why they are.
What I do like about it as well, just to add on to that, is the fact that you have to earn the ticket. So you have to do some sort of charitable work, or you have to do something that the state will allow.
If it's a charity concert, are these artists performing for free? Just so that we can.
That's what I was going to say.
Because there's absolutely no way a Beyonce will come all the way from the overseas
to South Africa
to perform for free. There's going to be per diem. There's going to be a fee. There's going to be payment for her band and all of that. So I feel the money that you want to use to pay Beyonce is going to be a lot.
But if they're trying to eradicate poverty,
and it's going to defeat the objective.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't just go to these countries or these women and children and just invest that money?
The truth is,
I feel like they themselves, they're looking for PR for their brand. Because they're like, something presents, the show from Beyonce. Who is the company doing it?
It's true.
Taking up. So that's what I think, in my own opinion. If you want to help people, I am just of the opinion that you should do it low-key. Nobody has to.
No one has to know.
I mean, you're paying Beyonce, you're paying Tiwa Savage, you're paying Whiskey. You're going to pay everybody's flight ticket. And if you're performing for free,
that's where the 50% is going. That and then the other 50% is going for the women and children.
They wouldn't be paying them as much as they will collect from a normal.
Under normal circumstances.
Regardless, they will still be collecting their money.
Exactly. Which could have gone to the women and children in the first place. Anyway, we'll take a quick break right now. But when we return, we'll be bringing you some more entertainment stories. Don't go anywhere.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa, and we're about to bring you our next story. Now, the latest story on Jamie Foxx is that the American actor has cleared himself in his sexual assault case. This is the guy, the lady.
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember when we did the story?
Remember.
Do you remember?
As in, I remember the main.
This is the slapping case.
And
you were saying something about
what was
the
Will Smith song? Sing it. So his was, I with my.
I remember when this story came out, and I was just like, what circumstances could you have been in that was what happened, like all over her face sort of thing? I shouldn't be laughing about it.
All right, let me come to you then, because I know you've got a legal background, so probably you know what the legal stance and everything, because it's been dismissed, hasn't it? The case.
Because her story didn't add up. It's nothing legal about it.
No, that's not the reason.
No, that's not the reason.
That is the reason. Okay, so why?
Like
it was thrown out because what states did it happen?
Nevada.
The state. Nevada. Are you sure about that?
I don't remember.
Okay, so I'm not so sure about the states, but according to the statute of limitation of that state, it only takes 3 years. No, it takes 2 years for a case to be thrown out. So 3 years for a case to be thrown out. And this happened 16 years ago. So meaning it has passed the time of the statute of limitation. So they cannot go to court over that case anymore because it's been 16 years ago. So you didn't come to court. That is, the statute of limitation says that if you have a civil case against somebody, you need to file that lawsuit within the time frame of 3 years. Anything after 3 years, the statute of limitation says you cannot go to court for that case anymore.
Okay, can I have a question? How did she bring up the whole? How did they even charge him, or like how did she even manage to like bring it up that it was?
No, I believe it was during the Me Too movement.
She said it was because of the
that's recent, but it happened to her 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years ago. But the states where she filed for the lawsuit, it says that after 3 years, you cannot file a civil case against somebody.
No, I get that. That's my point. So why did she still bring it up if that was the law?
No, it's not in one kind of law, because even in Nigeria, we have a statute of limitation of 10 years. Yeah. You get so
what I'm saying is that there's always a statute of limitation for every exactly, and it's usually within 1, 3, at least minimum 1, and then in most cases 3, and then excessive cases 10.
Though, and maybe at age 16 someone did whatever, and then I'm like 27 now,
and that's when you want to talk about it.
Why can't I?
Well, if the statute of limitation says you can't, then you can't. There may be.
So the person's going to go scot-free?
Yeah, the person. That's what it means.
Okay.
Basically, what the thing is, we don't know when she filed, because she didn't file like the 16 years ago.
No, she didn't. She filed recently.
Exactly.
So, which is my point. How did she still get away with filing if that's the law?
No, you're allowed to file. You're allowed to file. But now, how would the law handle your filing? Do you understand?
Okay,
so you can file for it, but they can decide to throw it out based on the statute of limitation, or they can allow the case go into trial. Do you understand? But in this case, the case cannot go into trial because the state states that there's a statute of limitation of 3 years for any civil case.
Also, additionally, I know you dismissed my point earlier, but that has a lot to do with it.
Who, me?
Both of you.
Really?
Yeah. No, it has a lot to do with it. The fact that she was in a compromising position when this supposedly happened also contributed to the collapse of the case, because people were like, well, I mean, I think the court or whoever, the legal team were like, well, how did you get yourself in such a compromising position for that to kind of occur? It's quite strange.
I think that is
She's not being blamed for that. But
I think that is very, very controversial, because it's like asking a rape victim, what were you doing at a nightclub?
True. I agree with you, but then at the same time, for you to accuse somebody of, because the story is, she said that he asked her to perform oral sex on her, on him, and then because of her refusal, he then slapped her with his penis. But it's almost like you must have said no in a position for him to slap you with his penis. Like, I'm just trying to imagine what kind of scenario she would have been in.
Maybe he paid for it or something.
Basically, they had some sort of agreement, like, and then at the last minute, lack of then obviously her non-consent is what led to the charge, her saying whatever she said, which is fine. I'm not dismissing her point, but I'm saying it's a bit awkward because it's like you said no.
I still don't get where you're coming from.
Why would you put your?
I think what she's trying to say is
it black and white.
That you have to be in a compromising position for that to happen.
So you're saying
in the way it's been described.
So you're saying she should be just you know, just to blame as well.
I'm not saying that. Stop putting words in my mouth.
No, what I'm saying, to get to the bottom of the
what I'm saying is, and to put it as plainly as possible without like sugarcoating it, what I'm saying is, for somebody to slap you with their penis, you have to be in a certain position for them to slap you with their penis.
But that is a very wild statement.
It is a wild statement,
yes.
but at the same time, I'm not dismissing the fact that she didn't consent. She didn't consent. That's where he went wrong, right?
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, they had some sort of relationship because that was consensual, because she refused him oral sex. So something must have been happening beforehand for her to refuse, and then he slapped.
We can't say it was consensual because
well, the thing is, I don't get it, but unfortunately we haven't got too much time to get to.
Yeah, she could have been intoxicated and then
exactly.
She
because it was a party actually.
No, but even if you say no when you're drunk, it's still
guys, we need to move on to our next story.
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah,
our next story I think is much more interesting. Let's move on to it. It's this Filipino president who says he will resign if anybody can prove God exists. Okay, so
that's a wild statement, not what I said. He's making wild statements, this president.
He is making wild statements, you know.
Well, it depends if you're religious or not.
In all of my travels, you know, at least I can say Philippines is one of the countries that I've been to, and I know that in that country, most of them are Roman Catholic, and they do take a religion seriously. So I'm quite surprised that, you know, they actually elected him into office knowing his stance, unless perhaps he's just bringing all of this now. But before I even delve deeper, let me get your thoughts.
Well, to be fair, this is an interesting one because, like you said, Philippines is a really, really religious country. A lot of people there went to like Catholic universities. Like, I didn't even know those existed. But anyway, Catholic universities, the bishops in Philippines are like, you know, voice of reason and that kind of thing. And they've actually called for a 3-day fast following his comments. But he's notorious for these kind of comments. He's notorious for like killing off, he's very anti-drugs, killed all the drug dealers within the communities.
Because he said that drug dealers should find a way to get arrested and they have a chance of living longer in jail than being on the streets.
He's that savage about it. Yeah. But there's another really interesting angle now. So he went to one of these Catholic universities and allegedly he says he was, you know, molested by one of the...
An American.
That's when he was 16 years old.
So I think that has actually contributed to his view on religion. And that happens to a lot of people because people don't talk about these things. So I think he's kind of internalized his anger and it's coming out in different ways. And that's
he's letting off steam now.
And he's apparently he swears a lot and that kind of thing. And like people just...
I actually heard that, you know, I don't know if this is actually true, but one of the places I heard that he actually called God stupid.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. He said God is a stupid God, and he also said he referred to God as a son of a blip. And then why he said this was because he said, how can God create Adam and Eve and then let them be tempted by the devil? Let them fall into temptation.
You know what?
And he said if anyone can answer that question.
Foresee and what's that thing? Okay, that would be me going deep spiritual.
No, go on, please, go on.
So, you love it, don't you?
Adam and Eve sinned, yes, because he knew that there would be tendencies for that to happen, and that's why he sent his son, because it wasn't the way people make Christianity and all these things look is like, oh, when Adam and Eve are sinned, God was like, hey, whoa, my children have committed sin. What do I do now? Then Jesus Christ was like, afterthought. No, it is there. If you go through your Bible and you study it well, it is right there. Like he has made, like the son has been created even before we. You know,
so he knew that was
going to happen.
There was tendencies for that to happen,
and that's what omniscient means.
That's why the Son came to give us grace and all of that.
It's all part of the prophecy, isn't it?
I would just say, one, he's angry at everything that has happened, because I say two things. One, religion is different from your relationship with God. So we Nigerians too are very religious. We do some certain things that I call stupid just because we're religious. You know, we're religious. Religion in Nigeria can make an intelligent man stupid because he thinks, oh, this and this and that.
Yeah.
But then, secondly, religion is I feel like it's a thing of the mind. It's a state of the mind. It's not what you feel or it's not what you
a way of life.
Exactly. So him thinking that God is this, God is that, is because one, he's been through a lot, and all these people that claim to be holy, because I've heard about all these Catholic men that would go and molest students. So if you know that you cannot take care of yourself sexually, like you can't, then why go into the ministry because you're not supposed to do anything sexual.
Okay.
So all of that, I feel like all of that is just, and then he didn't take time to go through.
Let's quickly look at a different angle. Because you said the people there are praying, or is it fasting?
It's a 3-day fast.
3-day fast. You know, I'm getting this kind of feeling that God might actually do something, you know, to show him that, yes, he is actually
Or
present.
he might not, because
he might not, exactly.
You know what?
And then, because I just remembered, like, watching the Titanic, where they said, you know, even God couldn't sink the Titanic, and look what happened. And then this guy making this statement, you know, don't be surprised that something happens, but...
Yeah, but I think God would have mercy.
In Nigeria, maybe something would happen.
No, I think God will have mercy on the religious, on the
people that killed cats that say people will win Argentina. You would not know that you killed the cats. Yeah, but this was Nigeria, dude. I'll show this President Pepe.
Who?
Our mothers and fathers.
All right, then let's quickly go to Buki November, who is our social media analyst. She's standing by to give us a report on the Filipino president. Yes. Hi, Buki.
Hi, Tokumbo, and everybody else in the studio. So I absolutely agree with you guys. I mean, the president made this comment during a science and technology event just a couple of days ago, and it follows from an initial comment he had made about the Catholic Church. Well, what he actually said was that if anybody could prove that they've ever seen or spoken verbally to God, he will immediately step down from the presidency. Now, what he said last month about the Catholic Church was him actually accusing them of using the issue of the original sin to extort money from the Filipino people. So what he says is that the Catholic Church uses this original sin to collect money from the families of these children because they baptize these babies in a bid to cleanse them from the original sin. The Filipino people actually came back to, there was like a clap back, because they believed that he is not morally upright enough to be able to judge the Catholic Church. This is somebody who has been accused, who has actually confirmed and then again denied his involvement in extrajudicial killings of criminals and drug users by the Davao Death Squad. This is someone who actually confirmed his involvement in killing 3 suspected kidnappers back in 1988. And also, as Tokumbo said, the Filipino people in Philippines, you have over 83% of them being Catholics. So what do you expect? Of course, there'll be clapbacks. Some people support him, of course, and then some people, of course, accuse him of not being morally upright enough. Some people called him, they actually compared him to President Trump. I'm still looking for the similarity there, but they said so. While others accused him of using this as an excuse to just stay longer in power. Some others called him a liar. Some called him very deceitful. Just different comments. Let's check out comments from social media for and against him. So here's my take on this. I'm yet to see anybody win the battle against the church. Even the philosophers didn't win the battle against the church. I mean, if you go back and you dig in properly. And also, if you say that, oh, does God exist? The easiest way to prove that is to look at life and death. That's all from me, Tokumbo. Back to you.
All right then, Buki, thank you very much for that quick report. We'll take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll be dishing out the latest scoop on the Jackson 5. Stay where you are.
Free extra social data from Etisalat.
Extra data. No extra cost. Extra data. No extra cost. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. For the multi-data plan. Extra data. Da bonanza. Extra data. No extra cost. Oh, oh, oh. Extra social data on monthly Data Plus packs.
Welcome back. It's tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're moving on to our next and final story, which, as mentioned before, the break is on the Jackson 5. The first record contract that is up for sale. Yes. So I was looking at this and I was like, I don't know. I know it has some historical significance, but I'm like, who would want to buy it? But like you always say, sometimes it's probably for investment. But anyway, before I run my mouth, let's.
No, it is. It's a good thing, because I think what they're doing is they're trying to archive some of the kind of old and valuable
African-American historic treasures.
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks for that addition. No, so basically what they're doing is it's part of, like if I said, the African-American cultural treasures. So this fits in nicely because actually at the time, Joe Jackson, who sadly passed away, signed the first record with Stilltown for his 5 sons. I think Michael Jackson was 9 at the time. So he's got his signature on there. So it's like the first ever kind of Jackson 5 record deal. Rosa Parks' letter to Martin Luther King's part of the collection. Same as Marvin Gaye's, some of Marvin Gaye's music. I think, what are they called? Is it Isley or Isley? One of them.
Isley.
Is it Isley Brothers? As well.
The sheets of the music is also being auctioned.
Thank you very much. We haven't got long, so I just need you to say something very quickly, Ife, before we round up. We haven't got long.
No, I just think this is great because, like Lakwe said, it's a way of archiving the historical and cultural treasures of African American, and this is more like an autograph of Joe Jackson because he signed the contract on behalf of his 5 kids.
And it's the albums.
And Arike, your take on, you know, this sort of items being sold, what do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. Good investment, I would say. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. And with that, we wrap up the show. Join us later today for afternoon tea. Until then, a big thank you to my co-anchors, the entire production team, our able stylist, courtesy of QD Empire, and a special thanks to Vion Tracy Imba for helping in an effortless coordination of the program. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo, and I wish you a good morning.